Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Rodriguez. It's time to review another episode of The Flash, Season 2, Episode 12, titled Fastlane. This is a spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It's been like 3 weeks since this has aired. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I am behind on Arrow as well. I believe I'm on episode 11, and they're already going on their 15th episode. I already caught up on Legends of Tomorrow. My reviews are coming shortly for Legends of Tomorrow, episode 3, 4, and 5. Next week, you get to see Oliver Queen with his goatee and everything in 2046. I mean, it's a great time to be alive. Next month, Daredevil Season 2, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, The Flash, Supergirl crossover. I mean, God. This is a great time, man, honestly. Great year for superhero movies, man, as well. X-Men, Apocalypse, let's take Gambit out of there. It's not going to come out this year. I mean, so much more. Suicide Squad, Doctor Strange, Civil War. Amazing. So here we go. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. Should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, give you my pros and cons and final score. Let's get right to it. First off, this guy is dropped into tar, and this is right when the particle acceleration basically just explodes, and boom, and the guy ends up getting, powers from it because he's in the tar, he's burning and everything, but it ended up making him stay alive. I'm sorry for the fan noise and everything. I know the background noise is annoying sometimes to people. Just focus on my voice. Just focus on my voice. Alright? So anyway, he's in the tar, and basically the guy ends up wanting to get revenge. He'll come back as an evil villain because apparently when you're not dead and you turn into a monster, you need revenge, of course. So, of course, Iris is trying to bond with Wally. Barry and Harrison Wells are also trying to bond a little bit. Or Barry's trying to. Harrison Wells is always like, God damn it, Barry, why don't you just step aside, because Harrison Wells is something else, man. Tom Cavanaugh, like I said, fantastic actor, man. Season 1 is Harrison Wells, man, made it, man. You got a guy who's playing Eobard Thawne and Harrison Wells, 2 at the same time, man. Pretty freaking crazy. But I just love how Harrison Wells trying to push Barry away, but yet Barry's trying to embrace Harrison Wells. So Tar Pit attacks, and Wells gets speed in this jar. He ends up stealing a bit of Flash's power. It went from 100% to 98% of Flash, where he stole a little bit of his speed, so he's going to give it to Zoom. Cisco's app. Cisco has an app now where people could just randomly be like, hey, there's a guy over here robbing the store. Alright, Flash, go over there. So anyway, Iris wants Wally to stop racing. Iris goes and threatens the race owner, and this guy, basically white trash and everything, and he's like, oh yeah, what are you going to do if I don't stop the races, honey? Huh? And he's getting real close and everything, and she's like, well, I'm recording the conversation, get out, Very rude to a lady, TBH, but, alright, whatever, floats his boat, man. So anyway, they find out who Tar Pit is. Harrison Wells gives speed to Zoom, and he's like, alright, I gave you the speed. Now where is my daughter? You are not in a position to negotiate. When Zoom's trying to do all that, and I don't, man, that voice, man, the Candyman's voice, holy crap. I love his voice. I know they alternate a little bit, but really, 80% of it is actually the man's voice, and you are not in a position to negotiate. Like, I love how his mouth is just like, almost like it was like Taffy, like Laffy Taffy, like it just keeps on chewing and it doesn't stop. That's really cool. So anyway, he will torture his daughter if he ends up Harrison Wells doesn't get him more speed. So Tar Pit is at the race. Wally is in trouble. Flash comes. Iris is injured. A glass goes, in her chest or shoulder area. Harrison Wells reveals he stole the speed. He is locked up. And basically they defeat Tar Pit easily. Flash ends up defeating him. Like, it was only like not even a 10-second fight. It was really just less than 10 seconds, and boom, Tar Pit's destroyed. And basically, we are going to Earth 2. That's how it ends. Harrison Wells has got it out of the cage. Barry's like, you know what, we're going to Earth 2. So what did I think about this episode overall, ladies and gentlemen, the Fast Lane? First off, I love the effects in this episode, man. Sometimes the Flash has them effects, but then again, like it is, many people say it is TV, and it's true, you gotta use your imagination sometimes, but the Tar Pit himself, when he was like a big monster, and the effects there, even though we didn't get to see much of it, man, it proves how amazing the effects and the visual effects, team at the CW and Warner Bros. And all that working on the show. Very fantastic job that those guys do. Harrison Wells, Tom Cavanaugh in this episode really shines a lot, man. He always, he's, from Zoom, standing in front of Zoom to going to Barry and saying that, yeah, I stole your speed, and, basically all, like, his attitude. Didn't Cisco be like, bye, Felicia? Or was that was Eobard Thawne a few weeks ago, never mind. But, like, I just love the way that it just works so well. And Harrison Wells, Tom Cavanaugh, such a fantastic actor in the way that he ends up, interacting with these characters. Where, Barry was thinking, like, when Joe hit him, he was like, I knew something was up with you, sort of thing. Like, oh shit, he's another Eobard Thawne. But it turns out he was just doing it for his daughter. The opening as well, when they dropped the guy into the tar pit, that was really intense as well, man. When they dropped him and he dropped in, and becoming tar pit, that was really interesting. Brutal, the way he described, like, I felt my ears burn off and then my eyes burn, like, the way he described it, dude, that was pretty well written way, because you were imagining it, and it's not a pretty sight. Wally West, this is the first episode where Wally West isn't such a douche and he's actually sort of a likable character. And I know a lot of people want Wally West, I know a lot of people love Wally West, but to me, he's a slow burner for me. But this episode basically kind of gets me into that Wally West feeling and, how he works, and he's kind of going back to Iris and Joe, so that's nice. The family in here, all about family, Iris, Joe, Wally, Barry, all of that, they're finally sort of getting together. Zoom in here again. Zoom's fantastic, man. We only get to see him for a little bit, but every time he's on screen, he's terrifying, he's scary, he's very threatening. And Cisco's app, I thought that was the funny comedic part of the whole episode, where Cisco, doing little jokes like that. So the only cons, really, the fight with Tar Pit, not the best, really. That was sort of boring things about it. I don't even know how to... Tar Pit was a horrible villain in this episode. He really was. Like, sure, he had a few cool effect things, but he really was just a bad villain. Like, you really didn't need him as a side villain when you just had Harrison Wells and that whole story there with Zoom. You didn't have to have Tar Pit, but, whatever you do, man. The race owner is connected. Yeah, all of a sudden Tar Pit emerges, and now the race owner is connected to that. Yeah, that's how everything connects, just easy like that. Apparently that's just coincidence. A little bit of writing right there. Hey, like I said, Tar Pit, the fight with Tar Pit wasn't the best. Not a big fan of that. So overall, I'm going to end up giving this Flash episode an A-, secondarily a B+. I thought it was a great episode, man. It wasn't an amazing episode, but it definitely was great. It's like a 9 out of 10, man. Well, not 9 out of 10. Really, A-, it could go both ways, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Just because I give a episode 9 out of 10 doesn't mean it's the greatest out of the series or anything, but it is a great episode. Doesn't mean it beats every single other episode. You have to have a 10 out of 10, and that's really hard to come by. Really hard to get a 10 out of 10. I don't even think I've really given The Flash a 10 or Arrow. I don't think I've ever given a 10, an A+, man, honestly. I've given an A, not an A+. So, we'll get there one day, man. This season's really building up. Watch my other 2 reviews after this. We're going to Earth 2. Thank you so much. You want to support the channel, hit that subscribe button. Really would appreciate that. I'll be seeing you guys later. Remember, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Agent Carter, everything else, man. Walking Dead. Check out the reviews. Check out the movie reviews. Deadpool. Much, much more. Thanks again. See you guys later. Bye-bye.